This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game can be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learned last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
Australia's premier NFL fantasy football show is back for the Aussie Gridiron Network. This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. They call me Matty C, and joining me this week for semi-final week is a grand finalist in our hearts. It's Taylor Goodall.
Matty C, I'm here and I feel fucking legit. I'm so close to the start of the week title, I can taste it. Let's go!
Mate, and well might you. I can taste the starts of the week title because I held it last year, and after the things I've done to this thing since I knew you were going to win it, you may not want to put that near your mouth, your children, anything like that.
Everyone has AIDS.
Something like that. It's that thing's, if it could talk. So.
Mate, I've held that Astro League trophy for a couple of years. I'm sure some weird stuff's gone into that. So nothing that I can't handle. I was also licking rhinos around coronavirus time, getting fucking, COVID about 700 times. Nothing could stop me, mate.
No, you seem to be like unsinkable. Let's go with that, I think. And mate, this year starts of the week. We will get more into the weeds on that on the Sunday show. But mate, you dusted myself and the world up. The world actually eliminated. Isn't that the funniest thing you've ever heard? The world is eliminated after that performance. But we didn't even mount 60 points between us, mate. You went and rolled up about 80 odd. Just gave us a thorough rogering.
Didn't help that you both ended up with someone not playing. We had a feeling, Daniel. It was just hilarious. Like on the pod, it was like we were trying to sort of almost talk you out of Daniels in a way, but we were like, Daniels kind of only fits because he's risky, because he might not play. So we were like, we'll give you that like sort of option because you're trying to obviously go for upside, and you're like, fuck it, I might as well just go for it. And then he was literally ruled out the fucking next morning after the podcast on a Thursday morning Australian time, which was kind of funny. But then the Rodriguez thing for the world was tough because I end up, I'll talk about later, I even had a league that I kept him in and took the 0 because I didn't realise he was going to miss either. So, it was tough for you guys there, but in the end, like it was such a big difference that it probably wouldn't have mattered. It would have just probably mattered for the world trying to catch you. Scoring like an 80 odd's always going to get the job done, starts the week.
Mate, what it mattered was that I really need to, if I wasn't going to win that segment, score some points. And I did neither. I didn't win the segment. I didn't score many points. Thankfully, I didn't have to outscore World because otherwise, if World outscored me, we both would have been eliminated in the same week.
You're still fucking hanging on by a foreskin, basically.
I'm not eliminated because it's mathematically possible. Not because it's likely, because it's mathematically possible. And mate, my starts of the week team this week is going to absolutely lean on me trying to find the mathematically possible way. I have dived. It has been a submergence. I've gone to the Mariana Trench of footballers to try and get some points this week, and we'll see what happens there. But I'm looking forward to doing that because we've got another great guest to do that with, and we've spent a bunch of time with Poe over the last couple of weeks through the Gold League, but also Poe and I, we go way back. We go about an hour back from just gasbagging in the green room, and I'm pretty keen to bring him in. But mate, we've got some serious business to attend to. We've got semi-finals in both the Gold and Blue League that you're looking after, the Green and Red Leagues that I'm looking after. I'm in neither of the playoffs in mine, but do you want to talk through the Gold and the Blue League first?
Yeah, I'll go to the Blue League first because it was an interesting exit for your boy fucking Taylor. He got absolutely his ass handed to him. But look, I will say that I didn't exactly put up a bad performance myself. I put up 162.4. Thinking, not a bad result.
That's a good day.
Above average this year. Pretty good day. Yeah. Will Murph 03 rolled up a 249.02. So, yeah, I just, a couple of, starts and sit questions here and there, Matty C. I might have been right in it, but, it was a bit of it was over very, very quickly. Just took an absolute rinsing. But to be honest, thanks to everyone in that league. Good luck to everyone that's still in. And you guys, we've even mentioned, you were clearly listening to the podcast because you'd obviously realised when we weren't updating the league there for a little bit when my sort of sabbatical in the middle of the year. So thanks everyone for the support of the podcast in that league, and good luck to everyone left, because obviously there's an opportunity to win some really cool merch. So yeah. So I'll just sort of update who's left in that league. So we've got I've really fucked it up here. I always fucking hate Sleeper because it takes away the standings.
Yeah.
Give me
I just went into the playoff bracket, baby. That's who's left.
Yeah.
Into the playoff bracket.
Yeah, that's what fucks me there. Fat Watts, who's the one that had the most ridiculous fucking points, 4 there for a while ever. He snuck in, he kept first place, but he goes up against Will Murph, who had the ridiculous match against me. Our boy Connor Wilson from last week, who, by all accounts from him, was the worst week of his life last week. He basically lost every single league he was in. He lost the water bet to Rogan with the Saints and the Panthers. He lost starts of the week with him and Rogan. He lost tipping point. It was really quite the week for Connor, so shout out. At least he's still in this league, so he had the bye. And then he's up against Vangeli Panthers, who snuck into sixth, but put up 180 points and dispersed of Cooper Maker. So good luck to the 4 guys that are left.
Wow. Vangeli Panthers. I'm starting to become a fan. I might need to buy a Vangeli Panthers jersey. I've been riding them since early on when it's they're iffy. They might make the 6. They might not. I'm like, come on, Vangeli Panthers. Look at them now.
Snuck in, I know, into the top 4. Anything can happen. So,
and I mean, Connor can't be mad about losing to him if he's a team called Panthers as well. He'd be like, okay, young buck, you go eat, mate.
Yeah,
it's your time.
So, either way, there's a Panther in the final. So
yeah, fucking oath. I love that.
So yeah, again, thanks to everyone in that league. It's been a great year, and thanks again for the support of the podcast. But I moved to the Gold League, and my God, what a fucking crazy week it was in this league. Our boy Poe that's on the podcast, he didn't have to worry. He finished first. I'm sure he'll mention that tonight. And so he had a nice cushy bye. And Matty C, I was up against Prometheus Rex, and I woke up what I thought was early enough to check my teams at 4:40 a.m. and somehow I snoozed straight away back to sleep. Didn't wake up again till 5:30 a.m. just to see a fucking red marking next to one of my players in Chris Rodriguez. So straight away, I was playing a 0, so that was a great start. Nice. And about half an hour into the game, so I'm also staring at Trevor Lawrence on my bench, already on about fucking 600 points. So that was a very, very good start. And I basically spent the entire matchup about 20 to 30 points down in projection. So it felt like it was all over for both leagues for me. But things turned around. I kind of needed a miracle a bit in that Dallas Vikings game, and I got it, and I luckily scraped in a 7-point win against Prometheus Rex. So I'm still alive, barely alive. BGs staying alive, but it's basically if the BGs, fucking were shitting themselves and basically were on a ham radio that didn't work. It is me very much hanging on by a thread. So I'm still alive. I'm up against Poe, who's on our podcast tonight, so it could be a bit of banter, which is good. So, it's good to have one of us still alive because otherwise it would have been a bit of a disaster with our leagues, with us, neither of us still alive. So I'll update the other semi-final in that league. Our boy Kev threw up a 209.42. We kind of knew from the start. He didn't just play Kyle Pitts. He played Kyle Pitts in his flex. So he was running through tight ends, and he was like, Drake London's out. I'm going to roll with Kyle Pitts in my flex. Puts up 45 points or something. So we kind of felt like Seahawk Sam was in deep shit from the get-go. He kind of hung in there. He put up 177 himself, but obviously that Kyle Pitts day was too much to reel in. So 209 points, and Kev goes on to play Cam the Beanbag Man. who also had the bye and was sitting in second in the regular season. So, yeah, a couple of really, really juicy matchups. You know, four guys that obviously are in that group chat that we have and always sort of chatting in there. And
that's juicy.
Yeah, it's great.
That's juicy. I just want to shout out to Jordan Pop, who is Prometheus Rex. I've been following him on all sorts of social media for a while now. Every morning I'm greeted with him giving me like players that you must start or players that you must sit or matchups that are delicious and that kind of thing, or players who've just outperformed or players he expects to outperform. He is relentless, and I have really been thankful for meeting Jordan Pop and for him agreeing to join one of the leagues. And it sounds like he joined the high power league, and it sounds like he did not disgrace himself, and he just kind of just came against the Taylor Buzzsaw, mate. We've all done that.
Oh, yeah, it was complete domination by me, Matty C. Just never looked like I was going to lose, and like just absolutely schmick start sit decisions from yours truly in that matchup. Just very, very clinical stuff. So that's what Poe's got to look forward to. Is I even had laugh him on the side. I'm like, I'll just take it as a win if I actually start a full team this week and maybe don't leave a fucking quarterback scoring 44 on my bench. That would be amazing.
Yeah, mate. And of course, against Denver, you expect Trevor to just roll up another 44. So I hope you've learned your lesson.
Easy matchup. That's the thing about fantasy, right? You go in and you take the guy that scored 44 in a great matchup and you play him agast Denver and he scores 4. So
you play him against Denver in Denver and do not play Trevor next week. Whatever you do. Don't even write to the mailbag going, can I start Trevor again? No, you cannot. You cannot start Trevor. Okay? Just PSA. PSAs, I'm going to quickly touch on the Green League because that was the first of the leagues that I got to be involved with. It was sort of gold. Then when we filled that up, we're like, well, let's start a Green League. Gold and green, like, you know, that's gold is like the best metal. Green couples nicely with the Aussie theme. Josh UR 1994 is a minor prem in that one, and the number 2 seed in that one was Boyd, who all year had his team called the Medical Tent. I think he was overplaying how much his players were injured. But at any rate, it meant that Josh UR was going to be lined up against the winner of the 4 and 5 seeds, Choppers, 4-4-2-2, and Turnbuckle 29. And it turns out in a great matchup too, Turnbuckle overcomes Choppers to win 151 to 146. So he gets the date with Josh UR. Should be fantastic. Should be really good because Turnbuckle's really his team has just sort of really started to turn the bend, and Josh Uwar has been really great all year. In the other one, Boyd was going to play the winner of Rabbitsborough and Team Zydix, and this was also a really good one. Only 10 points in it. Rabbitsborough, the 6 seed, knock off Zydix, the 3 seed. So it's going to be 2 versus 6 in one of the matchups, and 1 versus 5, 3 and 4. Sayonara. So thank you both to Rabbitsborough and to Choppers 4422, and plus all the other folks down in my part of the table for making that league interesting. But it is now up to you, Joshua, Turnbuckle, Boyd, and Zydix to make that one a final to remember, and we'll sort out who the finalists are this week. The other league is the Red League. This is kind of the 4th one. By the time we filled the blue, and then we're like, oh my god, we've still got people who want to join a league. Let's open a red as well. Again, Matty C, not featuring this one, but Randall McSupercob, who we know by a lot of names, Tay. We know him by Tom. When I've been direct messaging with him, I know him as Yarpin from the Supercoach podcast. His team there is called Penix and My Butka. We know him that way. He's got a lot of names, but one thing I know about him for sure is he is great. He was the minor prem in this league. The number 2 seed was Jai L2, who he and McSupercob were sort of really close at the top of the ladder most of the season. The semi-finals were between Dylan Murray and Delhi's Dream Team, an all-D matchup. Lots of big Ds in that one. And Delhi's Dream Team gets the win, the 5 seed beating the 4 seed there, 137 to 122. He will get a date with Randall McSupercob. The other semi-final was Doddles versus Elko. And Doddles, he did a good job hanging on to 6th, but he just did not have the horses to keep up with the Elko. Elko 93 goes and throws up 172. 172, an excellent score in a league where about 130 should win you a week most weeks. And Doddles went through up 136, so he did not embarrass himself. He just got steamrolled by Elko. Elko, the 3 seed versus Jai L2, the 2 seed next week. And then in the other one, it's 5 seed Delhi's Dream Team up against Randall McSupercob. Between them, we'll get a finalist. Everybody who wins a grand final from here that's not called Taylor is going to receive $100 of swag from the Aussie Gridiron Network merch store. So once we work out who is the highest finisher in each of those leagues, we'll come looking for your details so we can start sending some pretty cool swag. But thank you so much for all the engagement, all the chats, all the accepting my very banal shots at smack talk, all the smack talk you gave me back, everything that Tay you've either had to endure or enjoy in your leagues as well. We're just thankful for everyone who's joined those leagues and been participating along the way.
G'day, Gridiron.
Anyone that hasn't joined us before, it's pretty simple. Let's kick it off, eh? Is everyone ready?
The four horsemen of NFL in Australia.
If the sound ever plays, the pick is officially in.
Nick the lineman.
So it's the worst against any team, and it's also the worst passer rating that he has against any team at 66.3.
Brad the coach.
The Steelers have held the Ravens under 20 points in 7 straight games.
Isaac the analyst.
For this one, I couldn't understand it either. Like, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Ian the Viking.
Full of passion, full of fight. They might genuinely be interesting to watch again.
Previews, overreactions, and bloody best bets.
If Derrick Henry can get rolling, then I think it's no contest. The Ravens are going to win.
As a fan of the NFL, you hope he comes back because he's just an absolute beast when he gets on there.
That would be able to give, at least Justin Fields a chance to be able to build.
Let's move on after that insanity.
So I just think, though, it's going to stop here.
Defensively for the Bills, I don't think that's actually going to combat what the Chiefs do already.
Yeah, I guarantee Pete would get down on his knees for that.
G'day, Gridiron.
I love spreadsheets. I'm a spreadsheet man.
I love spreading the legs.
Twice a week, all season long on the Aussie Gridiron Network.
Hey, mate, you foreskinned the shirt out of this one. We've got a guest tonight. This guest actually happens to be in a semi-final against you in the Gold League. So there is, some serious shit up for grabs here. But you actually have a whole life story with you and this guy. And we've been foreskinning about having this guy on the podcast for some time. I can't keep calling him this guy. I need you to introduce him.
Oh, did I mention a matchup with him? I must have just missed that, Matty C. I don't think that was on my mind at all. Yeah, just brushed it straight off my shoulders, mate. But
you mentioned it briefly.
Yeah, just briefly, 67 times. Look, honestly, absolutely sucks. Oh, fuck, I can't do it.
I know.
You're killing me. We're fucking we're trying to lean into being young, fellow young kids from last week, Matty C, with the classes we had on that were 12 years our junior. We're all of a sudden leaning into the fucking young folk talk, and the fact I even called it that shows how fucking old I am. But look, I digress. I've been looking to have this guy on for a while. Honestly, I've played so much basketball with him back when I lived in Canberra, and he was actually sort of the one that sort of showed me the sleeper app before I sort of, got fully into this podcast, and he was kind of like an early adopter of a lot of this fantasy stuff. And I even remember a certain, idea he had on Devin Singletary in his rookie year was we very, very in on one Devin Singletary. I just had that thought when I was thinking about what to bring up with him tonight. But yeah, played a lot of basketball, had a lot of laughs with him. Honestly, grew up playing against each other and then ended up on the same team together. But we've just always sort of chatted fantasy, and then we kind of reconnected this year. He's very good friends with Daniel Joyce, who we had on the podcast. He was actually going to come on with him tonight, but I had to do some other stuff. So, look, welcome to the podcast, Michael Poe.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
No worries, mate.
Absolutely thrilled. And as Tay say, look, the goal was to have you and Joycey. Things didn't quite pan out, but mate, you joined the green room before Tay got there, and Tay joined, and we were just in full flight. We'd been talking for only a handful of minutes, but already it was just bang, bang. We were just away and running. So I'm so excited that we've got you on the pod, mate.
Very, very happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Post some 36 to 40 young 40-year-old banter. That would be great this week. Just make us feel like we're a normal age. That would be brilliant.
I'm here for the generationally relevant memes.
Yeah, please.
And I think you might be the exact middle point of the demographic we're trying to hit. So I am very thrilled, one, that you've ever even heard of us, and two, that here you are engaging with us. So, mate, this is a dream come true for me. This is a pinnacle in my broadcasting career.
Oh, brilliant. I heard Devin Singletary, and I'm pretty sure he's the same age. He's mid-30s already, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. Close enough.
Can I quickly ask about the Singletary thing? Because, I mean, like, not everyone is out there on a soapbox just bashing a drum going, Devin Singletary, ye hear ye.
Not many people will remember. It was sporadic because I think he's a smaller dude. But he had a lot of injuries. But in those first few years, he had some massive games. But I was out at a post-big event drunk with my wife's best mate, who very much rivals, as everyone seems to have that one big rivalry in their fantasy lives. And we were best enemies. And as you do when you're drunk, things pop up on your phone. You don't think, you just speak. And you go, Devin Singletary's been named the starter. And I've said it. I've looked at my phone. I've gone, we've made eye contact. Back down to the phones, furious wavering. And I've got in there, and he has never forgiven me since. I've gone back now, since 2019.
I don't know why. When you said you locked eyes, I thought of you guys in like the Wild Wild West, like like the gun shootouts, like it reminded me of like Hamilton, like the musical, like with the fucking like the jewels, like.
I was thinking more the shootout in Back to the Future 3. You know, I was thinking more like that, where it's like Biff Tannen and Marty McFly. I was thinking more like that.
Yeah, just guns at the side, just fucking shooting at each other.
Spirit fingers right near the holster. I was imagining that.
Got to have the quick draw in fantasy.
For Devin Singletary. Well, the prize is Devin fucking Singletary. What are we doing?
The prize, I've heard of prizes being far worse than that in fantasy, and it's still like an absolute fucking fight to the death to get to that wave. We
are degenerates.
RB 35 in 2019. That was the big prize.
Oh, what a year. Telling the grandkids about Devin Singletary circa 2020.
Gather around, kids. Let me tell you a story. Wow, this one time. Oh, my God. This does sound like me on the pod last week, actually.
It's also great. We can talk Simpsons memes because, like, all I'm thinking of is that Simpsons meme where the fucking old guy talking about Shelbyville and with the lemons.
Yes. It's like, the youngsters would never have got that.
Great stuff.
Age-appropriate conversation. It is so good. Mate, Po, you and Tay brought this up. You guys have been in touch for a long time. There's basketball involved. Can you walk us through a bit of this? Firstly, you've met the guy. You've spent more than a few minutes with him, yet you still want to talk to him. This is a mystery to me.
He's a big teddy bear, Tay. He might abuse some 12-year-old referees here and there, but he's a big teddy bear. I've had more than my share of league emails I've had to reply to about suspensions for abusing said referees. But Tay and I go way back to 15, 14-year-olds playing. He was playing for Illawarra, and I was playing for the lovely Queanbeyan Roadrunners in the New South Wales comps. And sad to say, we never actually beat their team. I mean,
came close.
We did come very close. It came to a spitting on the referee technical foul.
Not by me, by the way. Not by me either. Just want to make that clear.
You're giving us Queanbeyan boys an even worse name, Po, because, I mean, I've been doing my bit for a long time to keep us in a bad name, but it sounds like you guys just elevating.
I'll tell you what, we were a good team. We were a very good team for a Queanbeyan team. But no, this week in the Gold League is my one chance to finally get one up on Tay.
Get back.
Come on.
After he was carried by all those, I mean, he was an NBL boy, but all those NBL players from your bloody team.
Yeah. Now you can shred all that back and just be like mano a mano, Tay. You, me, rosters, car park. Let's go.
Yeah, remember all those losses I took to you when we were like 14? Well, now I beat you in the Gold League.
Now I'm going to take you on with people who don't even know I own them. Yeah.
I played the long game.
I'm going to DM every single one of my starting players just saying thank you for helping me beat Tay.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine as a player, getting an inbox full of people saying thank you would be fantastic because, I don't know, I've been involved with the ACT League, and we told a few of those guys, Manjot and I, every week are going to draft a fantasy team from players in the ACT League. And they fucking love the idea of just knowing that they're going to put up points for one of us. And they come to you and grovel and say, I'm so sorry, I only had 3 catches for 20 yards. I'm so sorry. It's so funny. But when they have the big game and they get the big hug out of you right after they come off the field, it's really cool. So imagine that getting an inbox full of DMs when you're a professional at this from people who are like, thank you, would be fantastic. I also imagine they get an inbox full of horrible stuff when they're not.
I was going to say, I'm sure they've shut that shit off because it's full of like people who lost their parlays and lost their multis and shit like that.
Thank you. Surely they
way
exist.
More shit.
Surely the thank yous exist. I mean, you see so many players, especially in the week 16, 17 part of the world, be like, hey, if you won your league because of a performance I put up and you want some money, could you donate some of it to a charity that I'm trying to help promote? And I like that, and I see a lot of people engage with that too, and I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, you just have to weed through all the shit.
Yeah.
So Poe, when you beat Tay, the charity is going to be the Rebuilding Tay's Ego Foundation. Because he's had it on you for some time by the sound of this, mate. He's cast a long shadow.
We made up. We had some very nice cuddles.
Absolutely.
Some basketball team members. Some nice bum slaps. It was all positive vibes.
There was a title for bake sale in there. There was a grand final series where one of our players turned up drunk because he'd watched the Niners lose the Super Bowl. There's been some good times.
He couldn't throw the inbound pass without falling over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that was a good time.
Uber to the court? How did he? This is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We won that game.
Yeah, we did win that game, didn't we?
We did. We lost the series, but we won that game.
Yeah, we lost the series. It was like a 3-game series. We thought he wasn't turning up, so we were just like geared up to play with 4 players. And then when he turned up, we were like, we're so much better with 4 players. Like this would be so much better.
They took him back off at halftime because he like wasn't covered by the league insurance because he was too drunk.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of amateur sports in this country, isn't it? So you cannot guarantee that your whole team is going to arrive sober. Doesn't matter what the sport. Oztag. No, half of them are drunk. Midweek men's basketball. Yeah, there's no guarantees. Absolutely no guarantees. Mate, how do you feel about this matchup with Tay in this semi-final in the Gold League? Do you kind of feel like you got the upper hand? Do you want to smack talk a little bit here and put Tay in his fucking place?
I feel good. My team... Yeah. I mean, once Rashid Rice came back from suspension, it's been lovely. I've definitely been boosted by HN and JSN.
Yeah.
They've been huge in a full PPR, but I have some pretty bad matchups. I'm looking at it here. I was like, oh shit, that's not good. JSN against Rams isn't the best, but I mean, that could be a little bit of a shootout looking at what Amon-Ra just did. So, it'll be close.
At home on a short week isn't the worst. So JSN, hopefully he'll be okay. Like he's got the Friday night game, but at least he's at home from a home game against that Colts last week. So hopefully he'll be all right. But there's some crappy matchups out there for great players, and it doesn't. In some ways, it made looking for starts a little bit easier because you're like, oh, there's some, average players who are just in good matchups. No worries. But then when you start looking at the breakouts, I'm like, oh, what is this pit of despair?
Josh Allen Cleveland, that hurts my soul.
I mean, that could be anything, couldn't it? 3 points. Could be 43 points.
Going for the Trevor Lawrence week.
Because, again, like Sanders last week had like 26. This week he has like, what he scored, Tay 6? Like it was, all those turnovers.
Yeah, With Josh Allen too, it's not even so much to do with the actual matchup on paper. It's all about whether the other team can keep up. It's like Josh Allen's games are generally like whatever they're playing against, like the Ravens or someone that has basically a quarterback on the other side. Like you even saw this week with Drake May. He started the game super well, and it made Josh Allen put his Superman cape on and actually have to do things. It's the matchup against the Browns this week. The frustrating part of it, as like if you were a Josh Allen owner, is like how many points do we actually see out of the Browns, and does Josh Allen even have to do anything? And it's like if James Cook fucking scores the first or the second touchdown or whatever, it's like, oh, they're up 14-0, like they coast, and it's like they're not the matchups you normally see Josh Allen absolutely dominating. It's the ones that the other team kind of keeps up.
Yeah, and you can't bench him. He's the number one player overall.
No way.
Like,
no chance. Yeah.
It's like Lamar's been this year.
Yeah, you can't bench him.
There's not. That's what I'm saying though. There's no real bad matchup for him, really. It's like because even if they were playing like I talk about this with like the Titans, right? They come up as like a very good matchup, as like against for quarterbacks and wide receivers and stuff. But I always say this to Matty C. Like it actually worries me sometimes playing guys against teams like that, because if they're up 21-0 at halftime, they just don't do anything in the second half. And it's like, yes, you could have had a good fantasy game already in the first half because they're up 21-0. There's a chance you've got a touchdown or two. But it's like if you don't get all that stuff in the first half, it's like you're not really getting a lot in the second half. So it's kind of the same here. It's like, yes, like sometimes the bad matchups on paper are actually good for Josh Allen because it means the other team's actually probably good and they're going to keep up. So it's a hard one sometimes.
Cleveland's elite offense, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is not happening this week. So that is not good, but it's like, yeah, you can't bench him. There's no way.
At home, Cleveland's defense haven't been horrid, and they've actually given some good teams a little bit of strife. Yeah. So you sort of... I don't know, you're kind of hopeful that then that means that maybe Allen doesn't run away with it and it's a contest and that he has to actually put some effort in. But, I mean, when those are a contest, it's like 16-10. I don't want that either. That's the problem.
And for whatever reason, Cleveland's defense was awesome at home until they played the mighty Titans. And fucking Tony Pollard just ran all over them. It just made absolutely no sense. I was playing Cleveland in like multiple leagues that week against my Titans, thinking I had like basically the golden ticket. And for whatever reason, they actually ran all over them. It made no sense.
It pisses me off because you know how many leagues where you've got Pollard and he's like iffy. You're like, oh, I don't want to play him against Cleveland. So you bench him and then he does that. You go, well, but I fucking can't start Pollard next week at San Francisco, so I've learned nothing.
I started Tony Pollard this week instead of Chris Rodriguez before the ruling out, and it won me my week. And I love that man because I traded Judkins away for Pollard, and I have been hating it all season. Yes. And I have a co-owner in this league who basically just sends me half the pay and then goes, what are we doing this week? And I tell him and he goes away. And he's been giving me crap all year for this trade. And I'm like, if I did not make that trade, we would have lost our final game.
That is so funny how fantasy works, eh? It's like... This is why, like, I've said this to you, Matty C, and I always feel like people laugh at me when I say this and when they think it's like a defeatist attitude in a way. But I always say that to me, the skill part of fantasy football is getting to the playoffs, but winning the championships is where the luck comes into it. Like, it's like you can do everything right and make all these awesome decisions in the fantasy, like in the regular season, to get yourself to the playoffs. But then in the 2-week or 3-week shootout, it's just a fucking crapshoot. Like you can say, "Oh, I built this amazing team to get myself there," but like you look at that, like that Judkins thing was actually like. Technically in a vacuum, a bad decision. But then you got yourself to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden that decision doesn't mean anything because all of a sudden Pollard has the same opportunity to go put out a good score than Judkins does, and then he goes and does it. So it's just such a funny thing, fantasy football. It's just, if you can just sneak in, all those decisions you've made previously just sort of cease to exist.
Right? Because it's, that weekend, loser leaves the country, and you're good wide receiver who might still have a couple of nice catches, they get a long touchdown erased from a penalty. And you're like, well, that's the difference right there. And your opponent's wide receiver doesn't have their long touchdown erased by a penalty. And you're like, well, my bulletproof team that went 12-2 can't win the 1 week I need them to. And it's, as you say, Tate, there's luck. Anyone who wins a fantasy football league and doesn't give a whole bunch of credit to the luck aspect is just a little too cocky. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love those guys. They're great because they think they're bulletproof and they did it all themselves. But there is so much luck involved. And mate, we've seen this in especially the complex leagues where there's a lot of players and there's short benches and there's unique scoring. You can't possibly do that without luck, just given some of the settings in leagues. And when you do pull it off, the first thing I've heard most people say in those kind of leagues is, God, that was lucky.
Well, it's like what I mentioned to you last year, Manny. See, it's why I was so proud, and it wasn't about how many titles I won at the end. The thing I was most proud was that I was in 13 leagues last year, and I made the playoffs in all 13. And I kind of almost felt like once I did that, I didn't care so much how many titles I won. I know that sounds stupid because I know we all play to win and we all play to say how many championships we won at the end. I get it. But just from a person who like takes this quite seriously and loves playing and like wants to do as best as he can, I kind of felt like to me that was job done in terms of like me ticking off like having a good season. What happened after that in the playoffs was kind of just almost like irrelevant. Like it was, I couldn't really do much after that. It was just I need to hope that the fantasy gods are on my side in all these leagues because I've got myself there by doing what I thought was right. So I've always said this to you as well, that I kind of see fantasy football like poker. I kind of feel like if you were to play like a hand of poker, if you're a professional against an amateur could beat a professional 7 out of 10 times. It's just there is a lot of luck to it. The idea is that if they played 1,000 hands, the professional would probably get the better of the amateur eventually, and that's the kind of way I look at fantasy football. Is most of it can come down to luck, but it's like if you just kind of keep making the right decision 55% of the time, it's always going to eventually work out for you. So that's the way I've always kind of looked at it. It's not like I expect to go into every league and just dominate or be better than a person that doesn't play much. I know that's not going to be the case, but my hope is over the amount of leagues I play that I'm going to get it right just over 50% of the time, and that'll obviously help me in the long run.
That sounds like someone who's about to lose to you in a semi-final.
Yeah, that's a defeatist attitude right there, isn't it?
he's just paving the way to be like, oh, mate, and you could just lose at any moment instead of you being like, mate, you have just bowed to the great power that is Michael Poe.
Yeah. No, look, I'm happy to play that card. I'm happy to just act like I'm not going to win because often that seems to work. It's the man job theory, right?
He's going to love hearing this.
The
guy is
attitude.
Yeah.
I'm playing all the hits. Jinx. Yeah, the old reverse jinx. I'm playing all the hits.
Yeah. When Tay's leading, he won't say anything if it's a close lead. But, mate, if he's trailing by 20, he's like, mate, the only thing that could happen here that could change is that you could lose this. And he just tries to get off. It's the whole thing. You wait for it.
I bet you. Thanks for a great season, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, he does that. He does that at the kickoff to the last game when he's like 18 from a tight end. He's like, yeah, no, it's been great. It's been great. It's like, yeah, but your tight end is Bowers. Like, don't shut up.
And just as breaking news, Poe's now put in the chat, I've already lost this week. Good GG's in the chat. So he's already beat me to it.
Commiseration.
That's it.
Okay, so he's already played that card. So he didn't play it on the podcast, but he played it in the group in the league. So he's one up me there. I feel like I've already lost.
Hit him where it hurts.
I feel like I should just bench everyone.
Somehow win it.
That'd be a nifty play.
I'd say it sounds like you got just as much chance, so you might as well. I love the move.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
He laid an egg and it wasn't golden.
Guaranteed to win 75% of the time.
I'd like to have that quarterback pick again.
We've got to talk about it, mate. It's an elephant in the room.
And there was something in the stars that said, Taylor, you're going to be shit house again.
And then reverse for the even rounds.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
But this is a great time to talk about players that we've got for breakouts, Tay. I think you've done a good job of setting me up for that. We do this every week, and in the last couple of weeks, because we've had 2 guests, I've got to just shut my fat mouth and let people talk about what they want to do. But
you've got to do one or not.
I've brought some breakouts, but I'm really keen to talk to Poe here because, mate, when we talk about breakouts, we're looking at a player who is positioned to really outscore what you might expect for him. And this week in particular, you're now talking semi-finals. Like Taya said, it's your matchup, your roster versus their roster. Loser leaves the island, right? So it doesn't matter what they've done in the lead-up. It's about what they do today. And this is just the most crucial time to get a good breakout. We talk about a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, or a tight end. And I'm going to let you kick this one off first by picking from your list who you have the most conviction of at any of those positions, and then we'll just follow suit, mate.
I'll start with quarterback. Just keep running on this topic. I'm actually going to go with Bryce Young. I think we just watched Kirk Cousins abs. I mean, he does it every time, so not indicative for everyone else. However, he just torched Tampa Bay. Absolutely torched them. And Bryce Young has just quietly been putting together, I mean, take out this last week, but he's been putting together a very tasty few weeks, and they need to win. So I have a feeling he's in for a big one here.
I also restarted for him. I also wrote down Bryce Young versus Tampa Bay. They are at home, and I mean, it's the same thing. They're playing knockout football, and he's been doing this thing where every other week he's been really good, and sometimes the week in between hasn't been so good. But this matchup is delicious. So I sort of looked at Bryce Young and went, gee, if you can't get 20 points for me, Bryce Young, then maybe I'm not here. But I felt like if you needed 20 points and he was around, you could probably start him in place of someone who's got just a terrible matchup, or if you're the Mahomes owner.
Yep. All right. Well, one of my quarterbacks is someone we just were talking about. It's Justin Herbert. I've just literally written against Cowboys, and I don't need to write where they are against the fucking position because we know they're dead last and basically everywhere. Yeah. And it's written down as literally anyone against the Cowboys. I don't have to sit here and talk about what I think I like about Justin Herbert at the moment because I didn't love anything about fucking McCarthy last week, and he went out and dominated this Dallas defense because it is all just proof of concept on how bad this defense is. And they're just a pass funnel. So I don't think they're actually going to be able to dominate on the ground, and I think they're going to have to pass. So, which they haven't really had to do in the last couple of matchups. So, I've got Justin Herbert, and I've also got Jalen Hurts against the Commanders. It's weirdly, he had this exact matchup at this exact time of year last year, and he got injured in the first quarter. I do feel like there's kind of like a little bit of, it's not revenge because he doesn't feel revenge about the fact he got hurt, but I do just think this Commanders team is just so susceptible to quarterbacks. Like I brought up Jackson Dart last week. They're 28th against the quarterback position. They're just getting sort of torched, kind of similarly to the Cowboys, and then you even brought up the Lions, Matty C, where they're not great against the run either, but they seem even worse in defending in the air. Teams are just passing all over them, and wide receivers and quarterbacks are just running rampant. So I do feel like this is the kind of game where I think it's going to be more on Hurts and AJ Brown and stuff like that, more so than Saquon. So I'm going to take Jalen Hurts and Herbert. I think they're both going to be top 6 quarterbacks this week.
Ooh, both top 6. And mate, I had Bryce for about 20 odd points. What do you think, Poe? What do you reckon Bryce can do? What kind of damage can he inflict?
I'm going to say 24.
Ooh. I hope so.
I think Tampa have been awful recently, and I think Baker's going to come out with a little bit of something to prove, and I think Bryce is going to have to keep up.
Yeah. I hope that's the case too, because mate, fantasy points are my favourite. I care much less about actual outcomes in the NFL than I do about the fantasy matchups because I am beyond help. Mate, I want to keep with you though, Poe, and roll into your second most strong player in terms of how you feel conviction about whether they're breaking out and how much so. Take your pick, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Free fire, mate.
This one, so I'm going with running back, and I'm going to be going with Woody Marks. The coach has already come out saying he could have come back into that game. They were just winning by too much. They didn't need to. He had 22% of snaps. He went out in early second quarter, 7 carries. He had almost 11 points by that stage. Nick Chubb's done. He's taken over. They're playing against the Raiders. They do not need to throw against the Raiders.
Say less.
Yeah.
The Raiders.
And the thing is, like, even if they do throw, which running backs are going to? I mean, Dare. All right, we do love a little bit of Dare, but
well,
he's the best.
It's kind of like a fan favorite, but you can't start him in anything. Like
he's the best field goal kicker of the running.
Yeah, I was going to say points to running back kicker. Yeah, sure. But I am a huge Woody advocate. I think he's in a blow up spot if he gets healthy for this one. But the coaches already come out saying.
Likely.
He's day-to-day, but he could have come back into that game. And they have a guy who came in running back.
Was it Jordan or something? Well, I can't remember. I don't know who the fuck was that. Yeah.
He's not on their top 5 running backs, I'll tell you on Sleeper.
He's not on the depth chart.
He's not on the depth chart. So, that's my
elevated from the practice squad and would otherwise be just, part of a special teams unit. So,
it was like the owner's son
wound
or
up
something.
Holding the ball.
Stepson.
Yeah, I love this one. I had Marks as my running back breakout last week, and then obviously the injury just kind of fucked that. But you're right, like, he was on for a big game, and the fact that they just basically picked up some fucking garbage man off the street and he went and got 100 yards proves like how good Marks would have been if he stayed on the field.
Some garbage man. I love that. Mate, do you have a bit of conviction about Marks in terms of how many points or like touchdowns, or do you have something that we can hang on to?
I'd say 80 yards and a tutty. Like, I'll say at least 15 points. 15
points, include the touchdown. We're going to say it's a touchdown guarantee, and what we do when someone guarantees a touchdown here is we ring the fucking bell. I've got a boxing bell that goes off in the background when we do that. When you listen to this back, you're going to love it, Poe. Love it. Hey, Tay, you might like this. I went with one of your boys. You got a couple of boys at running back, but you have been a bit strident recently on one from Cincinnati. And, mate, you bet my ear on him early in the year. Things didn't quite go the way we were hoping for. He missed some time. Now, Chase Brown looks great, and he's against a Miami team who haven't covered themselves in glory in any way. They just got eliminated from the playoff by the Steelers this week, and I just kind of think they're right for the picking. Chase Brown is doing it on the ground, and he's doing enough in the air to guarantee me that he'd probably score. He's scoring sort of in the 16 to 18 range, and I reckon this is a week he breaches 20 because he gets that all-important touchdown guarantee. Throw it in there. Let's fucking go.
What I liked about him last week was, because I've been bringing him up because when Burrow came back, I thought this offense was going to sort of take that step forward. And they kind of looked like they were when that first game of Burrow back against the Ravens, but it's kind of all gone backwards really fast, and they didn't score a point against the Ravens this week. But the fact that he still put up, 16 points in PPR in a game like that, it gave me, reason to believe that he's still a kind of guy that I want to be, really starting and kind of leaning on for the rest of this year. I like the two main leagues that I have him in, I am actually into the semifinals with him because he put in a pretty damn good performance without any real explosive plays, and the fact that his offense sucked. So... Yeah, the offense can't be any worse than it was the week just gone. It literally can't be. So, it's actually really good signs for him moving forward, because I imagine whether it's Burrow or honestly, even if they just got Flacco back in there at some stage, I think there should be better signs of what we just saw. So, I like him, and against Miami, absolutely no problem there.
Oh, and this isn't a team who are boat racing for a top pick. They've got a lot of their roster sorted out, or they're in kind of prime position if they end up with a reasonably high first-round pick. They're the kind of team who can trade out of that and just kind of accumulate things to go around Burrow and work on trying to put together a defense. You don't need to spend the super, super highest pick on that. You can sort of start to diversify. So I like the idea that Brown probably isn't inhibited by any plans around the draft for the Bengals. But, mate, oh, God, do I ask what you've done at running back here after you've just given Herbert and Hurts a quarterback? What are you doing here? Is it a fifer?
No, it's still only a 2, but I'm literally going to give you the running back 1 and 2 on the week. I'm just telling you right now. All right, one is in that same game. It's HN against the Bengals, who are last against the running back position. I don't really have to talk. I'd say less, as I just mentioned. I just think he's going to be able to absolutely destroy this team on the ground and in the air. And I'm going to say between him and one Bijan Robinson, you may have heard of him, up against the Cardinals, who are 28th against the running back position. I'll give you a little sneak peek too, Matty C. He's going to be my captain super coach this week because I think he's going to absolutely fist the living shit out of this Cardinals team. They are getting killed on the ground, like especially at the moment. They cannot stop anything. So, yeah, I just think he's in for a massive week. They obviously had that massive sort of blunder last week, and I think they're going to have to be putting all their chips on the table for this one. So, yep, I think these two are literally going to be running back 1 and 2 on the week, and I think they are going to top 24. Well, let's go. They're going to score more than 28 fantasy points each.
28 each to infinity and Bijan, by the sound of that, mate.
It's kind of like it's like me putting a number on it. It's kind of like I don't really need to technically because I'm saying they have to be in the top 2. So it's like they're probably going to need that score anyway to even like be a chance to be the top 2. So the top 2 is really the actual like kind of call, but let's just put a number on it. And why not? We might as well fucking throw a touchdown guarantee on both of them because they're going to need it.
Mate, I reckon they're going to need a couple of touchdowns each. Do you want to do it?
Let's go! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Oh, yeah, we get the air horn out for that one when it's a double touchdown guarantee, and it's a double touchdown guarantee on 2 blokes because it is a long way to 28 points as a running back without some of those 6-point magics. And, mate, if each of them got 2, that is still only 24 of the way to 56 combined points they're going to need on their way to being the top 2 running backs on the week. So, mate, I love this. I like that you get exotic. I am never brave enough to do something this exotic. I go and find my player and I stick my flag in them. But here you are playing same game multis, 2 multis in the same position, guys finishing in top 2s, top 6s. I love that you do it, Tane.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I do weird shit every week, and I always implore like the guests that come on. You don't have to be a weirdo like me. It's great just bringing one. That's why I just allow myself to just do weird shit on this segment. But I'm here every week, so I've got to keep it fresh.
If you want to get your contract extension, I think you do. I mean, yeah.
I've got to bring.
I know I'm day to day, but we know you're a star. So
half a star.
Yeah, this show is not what it is without you. Mate, I'm going to quickly throw in my wide receiver because my husband is back. He has been hurt for a long time, and Mike Evans came back and immediately showed his worth. He's at Carolina, who are not fantastic. They're not the world's greatest matchup for wide receivers, but Mike Evans is a vacuum for targets, and Baker loved going to him immediately. I'm, again, going to do this thing where I want him to get in the end zone, and I want him to get you 20 points. Mike Evans, 20 points and a touchdown guarantee at Carolina. Hey, Poe, I've taken both sides of the same game there. I've got Young versus Tampa Bay. I've got Evans at Carolina. Mate, what are you doing for a wide receiver?
Contentious. I'm going Justin Jefferson.
That's the name that shall not be spake. Oh, my God. I can show you on numerous dollars where that man has touched me in terms of fantasy scoring disappointment this year. What are you doing?
I watched part of this game in between jackhammering walls this week, and he 8 targets, multiple chances on touchdowns, and he's coming up against the Giants, who, I mean, Terry McLaurin just put his name onto him and just ran over. The Vikings are eliminated from playoffs. What do they have to play for? They have to play for the future. They want him to be happy. They want to keep him on the team. So, throw him the fucking ball.
He has jackhammered fantasy owners' assholes this year. It has been absolutely brutal. And every week it's like, the matchups here, like last week, you're right. I was watching the game too, Poe. There were so many fucking moments where things could have just like gone slightly different and it would have been a far better moment. But it's just like we just had the best matchup. I know this is another good one, but it's like we just saw him go like 2 for 20 against Dallas. It's like, Oh man, but like I'm glad like people need to keep being in front of this, because when it actually finally goes right, you want to be the guy that like picked it like in the moment it happens. So yeah, go for it, mate. It's been so tough. I traded for Jefferson in a dynasty league and it's been a fucking disaster. I hope he does turn it around, because I really like him, and I know, like, I love the fact he's like actually supporting McCarthy and he's actually not being a knob to him. I know, like, you want your receivers to be divas in fantasy and stuff, but it is kind of cool watching him like actually supporting him and like going over to him and talking him up and stuff like that, because you don't see it a lot with receivers. So it is actually good to see Jedders being like an actual good teammate. So it's not good for fantasy, but it's actually good for real life.
If he caught those 2 touchdowns, which were both catchable, he ends up near 20 points, and everyone's like, he's back. I don't see how this continues. They clearly want to get in the ball. It's freak. There were 2 freak catches that he didn't pull down. But he's Jay Jetters. Somebody asked me this week, is he just bad? No. He's still potentially going to be the greatest wide receiver of all time if he continued on that pace.
Yeah, he's like, in a lot of ways, like AJ Brown was getting the same flack earlier in the year, and then all of a sudden he got the touchdowns. He was never short of the targets. He just started to get the catches, started to get the touchdowns, and now the targets kind of drying up, because whatever, the Philadelphia Eagles just put the cleaners through people at the moment. But like he has copped the same kind of criticism for being the big dog without the big dog numbers, right? And those weeks came up for him. It's just, man, if that's you sticking your chin right out like that, ready to get hit right in the face for the Jetters thing, because, mate, God, say, how long did I tell you that I was hanging on to Justin Jefferson in the Supercoach format? I apologise for Jefferson for weeks and weeks and weeks. We broke up. We went to Splitsville, but there are still people trying to trade out of Jefferson now, even though he's created and priced in that, and he's like less than half of his opening day cost. So, like, if ever you were going to get in on him, now's the time to get in. So I get what Poggy's doing here, but mate, I don't know. I feel sore. I've been penetrated a few times.
Yeah, you've been jackhammered in the arse. I've already brought that up. There's just him and 9 just aren't seeing eye to eye. It's just, I don't know what it is. As soon as 9 fucking sees Jalen Naylor, he gets a huge erection. He just throws it on a dime to Naylor, or even Hawkinson's been getting involved again this like last couple of weeks, and Addison had the big bomb, and just for whatever reason he's hitting all these guys astride, and for whatever reason when Jefferson's around, it just isn't happening. But I wouldn't be surprised if before the season ends there is a Jefferson game, so why not take a shot on this one? There aren't many left.
How many Jefferson points are we hoping for here, Poggy? What's going on? What you got?
I'm saying 18.
Oh, nice.
I think he's having his best game since week 5. I think he really pops off this game. And to prove my point and put a stamp on it, I've used my last Supercoach trade on Jefferson, bringing him back in. Goodbye, Tet McMillan. I have loved you. Tay, you and I were 1 and 2 in the Oz Gridiron League on Supercoach there. I'm still running. Yeah. I'm still running top on points scored there. But I'm willing to use my last trade there.
That's good stuff.
Oh, because you make about $5 million on that. Because it was actually worth something. Where Jedders, mate, I found coins on the street worth more than him in fantasy at the moment.
Yeah, he's $6 million on.
That's unbelievable.
6.
You can't get kickers for that.
I said that to you last week, though. I was like, he's down to $8 million, and I was like, you should hold him because he can't lose any more money. Then I'm like, break even of 37. He actually fucking can.
He's going to lose money.
How can he keep losing money?
He's worth less than Jordan Mason, Juwan Johnson. Yeah. Dalton Schultz is worth more than him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Dalton fucking Schultz. Jesus. Yeah, it's bad. But this is the thing, right? You stick your neck out, and someone, the week will come, right? Like he isn't just going to fade into obscurity, and we'll never hear of him again. He's going to be part of this team ongoing. And 18 points. That is a breakout for Justin Jefferson now. Like if you're talking to me in week 2, I'm like 18 points, child, please. But mate, knowing what we know, the roller coaster after we've just had a litre of milk and a litre of juice that we've been on with Justin Jefferson and the chronic vomit and diarrhea that we've had since that, I would take 18 points as a breakout for Justin Jefferson, and I would welcome it gladly and ask it if it could stay in my home forever.
He has like 35 yards in the last 3 games combined. So, yeah, 18's definitely a breakout.
He's coming back.
I was not a good receiver, but I even never had a spell that dry.
And you know why I'm doubling down is because I am playing against him in my semi-final. And I know, you know when you're playing against these players, they will score.
Yep.
You know. Poe knows football.
Well, if you don't Poe, then you know.
Poe knows. Mate, I love it. 18 points. Give me that. Get it into my veins. Give it to me by IV. And at the New York Giants, who we know are clinically diagnosed pus against pretty much every position. Tay, what magic have you got for us at wide receiver, mate?
Yeah, look, unlike me, I've got another couple of players here, Matty C. You know, it's not like me to just go a single player.
But you don't have Jefferson.
Look, I'm very much leaning on, the analysis of matchup here. I mean, we just saw this guy go pretty well today, but I'm going to take DK Metcalf up against the Lions just because, like we've talked about, I just think they're such a pass funnel that I think the Lions are going to be able to stop the run, but they're going to be easily sort of beaten in the air. They're losing secondary pieces left, right, and centre. And Metcalf's just getting such a huge piece of that pie from Aaron Rodgers in the moment. They aren't really... Outside of sort of him dumping off to Kenneth Gainwell and a bit of Jalen Warren, there really isn't another wide receiver that's doing much. It's basically just throwing it to the biggest fucking tight end in the history of the world in Washington or hitting the biggest fucking wide receiver in the world and just him just going nuts. So, I'm going to take DK Metcalf against the Lions, and I'm going to take my biggest fade in fantasy this year, and it's one that's worked out superbly. I thought this guy was just getting way overdrafted, but I'm going to follow the analysis of the matchup against the Cowboys. I'm going to take Ladd McConkey. It's been bad. It's been super bad the last few weeks, but in general, it's kind of just been bad for the Chargers offense in general. Like, they've won close, low-scoring games, and I just don't think that's what this is going to be against Dallas. I think they're going to realize, I was even laughing during that Vikings game in the first quarter. I think some teams have a game plan where they're like, well, we've got to be balanced when they're against Dallas, and they run the ball a few times. They don't want to just be seen as a passing team, blah, blah, blah. And it lasts about 8 minutes, and then they go, this is fucking stupid. What are we doing? Let's just pass every time. And I even said that to Ian, and he agreed. And all of a sudden, the next drive, fucking 9 was just absolutely dealing and just throwing bombs and stuff because they realized quickly that this Dallas team is just so easy to figure out. And you don't have to be balanced. You could seriously pass every play, and you're going to still beat this team. So, yeah, I just think that Ladd McConkey is going to be way more involved and get more volume because they're going to realize that, and that's how they're going to move the ball. So this isn't so much like me talking up McConkey how he's been the last few weeks. It's just more on this specific matchup, and I just think he's going to get more involved. I don't know what the Quentin Johnson situation is. He missed last week. We saw more Trey Harris, which was interesting. But, yeah, I just think Ladd McConkey's going to be the one that's out there the most and probably the most trusted.
Yeah, and that's been how it is all season. He's been the snap leader out there, and even last week was the snap leader. So Metcalf at Detroit, Ladd at Dallas. I can't fault the logic, but what's the score?
I'm going to do the same kind of I'm not going to say they're 1 and 2 like the running backs, because obviously I was taking high-end running backs. That was kind of my play. I'm going to give both of these guys a touchdown guarantee, though. But I'm going to say they're both in the top 10.
Top 10s with that bell still ringing in my ears for the touchdown guarantee. We like that. Look, I've got to throw it to Poggy to wrap this one up, Poe. What are you doing with the tight end? This is a position that it's really close to our hearts, Tay. We love a tight end who can throw up a bit of a score for you when you need it. It's often the position, like Kyle Pitts showed us last week, that can swing a matchup.
Yeah, listen, I had this one written down before the Monday or Tuesday game. We're talking about Australia. I have Darren Waller. It's probably the easiest one here. We all probably have the same guy. We're talking about Bengals, tight ends, and needing to keep up. And you just saw at the end of the game. I mean, this is in retrospect after already having him down there. He's scored 2 touchdowns in this game. Dulcich is taking a little bit more than you'd like to see there if you're a Darren Waller owner. He's getting a bit more of the chunk yardage, whereas Waller's a red zone threat. But it didn't work out with Andrews and Likely, but they didn't need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bengals just didn't keep up. They didn't force them to have to pass that much.
Likely was a donut last week, and I know that because he was on the world team, and like we couldn't have seen that coming going into the week, just given the things we know about that Cincinnati defense and where to attack them in the passing game, and you just can't explain ones like that. So do I think that's the trend? I think you just go back and try and tear Cincinnati up through the middle because they've got nothing in the middle. So I love the call.
It's funny because you say, oh, he's a breakout, but he just scored 2 touchdowns. But let's just pretend he didn't do that before this.
Yeah.
He's not a slam dunk start by any means. I mean, and in terms of what expectation, do people expect him to have a really large day out, week in, week out? No, they don't. So if you can describe why, that to me is the point of the segment here, is to be like, right, it's not that I just think a good player is going to have a good game. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you let's break it down why. And mate, you've done that.
Yeah,
and it's good that you're
against Hay.
I saw that. You picked him up before the game. I noticed that.
36 points.
It's funny, though, because I'll just say he's actually part of mine, but I'll kind of get into what I've done. I've done something even more stupid at tight end. The idea of fantasy, right, is you're not meant to sort of chase your tail and base it off what you just saw in a game the week before, especially the way Waller did it. If you actually look at this game, Waller was doing absolutely sweet fuck all with about 8 minutes to go in the game. I think they had 90 yards of total offense going into the fourth quarter or something like that in that game. They were doing nothing. It was all garbage time.
-20 in the third. -20.
In the third. How was that even possible? It was unbelievable. They were just sucking absolute ass. So the analysis in general is to not follow that and assume that what you saw at the end of the game is projected to move forward. But that's why we would, you mentioned, that you kind of did this before today's game anyway. It was more about the analysis on the matchup, and it didn't really matter what he did today against the Steelers. It was more about this matchup specifically and what he kind of does with the Miami love the tight end position. You even saw it with Jono last year. They love targeting it. So I just wanted to point it out there. The whole point of this analysis isn't to actually base it off today. It's to base it off the matchup looking forward.
Yeah, I like that. And you got a magic number for Sapporo. What are we expecting out of Darren Waller here? What are you hoping for?
I wanted to say 12, but he just scored 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to say 15.
Beautiful.
Touchdown in that. I can hear it ringing.
15 touchdowns.
15 touchdowns.
Could happen. Look, 15 at a tight end. I don't know anyone who would say, oh, no, thanks. 15 at tight end is great, especially for a fellow who you're plugging in there. If you've been in a position where you've been starting someone who's iffy, and now you just see Waller not just back in the lineup, but re-emerging with points, and you see this matchup, to me, that's something that you've got to pay attention to. I think you've done a great job. Tell us why the matchup matters. And, mate, I'll take 15 from a tight end in a must-win week. Absolutely. So thank you, mate. Jalen nailed it.
That works after this week. his name is very much in use after stealing all of Addison's touchdowns.
Oh, Addison and Jeffo. Tay, what are you going to do with us at the magic position? The field of money that we know is tight end.
Done something very special, matey. So you know me, bringing always
you are special. I'll give you that.
Especially in a position that I love so dear to my heart. Just I absolutely love it in fantasy. You know that. What I've got for you, Matty C, and it goes to some of my wonderful rhyming that I like to do, and me, how I like to morph names to fit my own criteria. So what I have here, Matty C, is I have the 3 Ds. I have Dallas, I have Darren, and I have Kiddle. Instead of Kittle, I don't know. So I've got it against the Commanders, who are second last against tight end. I have Waller against the Bengals, who are last against tight end. And I have Kiddle, not Kittle, at the Colts, who are 20 seconds against tight end. I think I've just lost every listener, but I'll go through it. I'll go through the analysis.
I need help.
Yeah. This is one of these things where you can't explain a complex theory like this to me without giving me a placemat with the drawing on it so I can digest it at dinner while I'm having my chicken nuggets for about a week. You're going to need to really explain this one to me.
Look, the 3 Ds, mate, it speaks for itself. We've got Dallas, got it. There's your D. We've got Darren Waller, and we've got Kittle spelt with D's instead of T's. It's pretty obvious, man. It's just. I actually think the listeners are with me. They understand.
I like how no part of Kittle starts with a D, but you're like, it's D's.
Not one. I just changed it to help my own argument.
Well,
so that's what I do best, mate.
Diddle, not Kiddle.
Kiddle. Yeah, fuck it. That's enough. That's great stuff. That's all I need.
Well, can you give me the breakdown here? Because I have something I want to come back to once you've done this, because I'm already compelled about something here.
Well, got it. Honestly, has just been such a target monster in the red zone. He's just been quietly just fucking dominating, honestly, especially in touchdowns. And I've already brought up with Jalen Hurts that I think this is going to be the kind of game they're going to be able to pass. And so I just think that if a lot of their touchdowns are through the air and not on the ground in this game, I think Goddart's a massive chance of snagging at least one of them. So, yeah, against the Commanders, second last against the tight end position, I felt like Goddard, this was a very good matchup for him. We've already fucking talked about Waller till we, gone fucking purple on the cheeks. But the Bengals just give it, outside of last week, they just completely give it up. I brought it up, was it 14 touchdowns to the tight end position this year, and second worst was 9. It's like they're fucking almost doubling up the second worst fucking tight end defense, which is the Commanders, like I just brought up. And then, of course, George Kittle. This is more just like I'm. It's not even so much the matchup for him. It's just that I think he is just dominating. We've even seen Pearsall, who finally was starting to get on track. It looks like he's picked up an injury. He's just, every single time there's an injury to a wide receiver in the Niners, it just sort of just brings Kittle to the forefront even more. And you saw him have an amazing game last week against the Titans. I just think he's the most trusted receiver outside of probably CMC in the team. So. Yeah, I just think against the Colts, the indoor environment, even though there isn't going to be a huge amount of scoreboard pressure on the other side from Old Man River, I just think that him and Purdy have this amazing connection. I feel stupid even talking about him because I think everyone knows he's dominant, but I just thought I'd put him in here because I think he honestly could be the tight end one of the week this week.
So you got D. Alice Goddard at Washington, D. Aaron Waller versus Cincinnati, Kiddle versus at Indianapolis on the Monday night. What are we doing to tangible this? How are you bundling this into a breakout for us, mate?
I think this is I reckon all 3 are going to be in the top 5, which is a very hard thing to sort of squeeze in. But yeah, I'm gonna even make it harder for myself. I think Kittle is the 1, so he has to be 1, and the other 2 are in the top 5.
Jeepers. Mate, that's big. And I had Dallas Goddard as my breakout for the same reasons. It's just Washington are a string bag of arseholes at almost everything they do. Dan Quinn may find himself on the hot seat by the time the season is over. But the Kittle thing is a big deal. We've talked about this till the cows come home the last few years, especially since Purdy has overtaken that role as the quarterback there, about what it's like when they're missing just one of the ensemble, and that ensemble used to be guys like Debo and Ayuk. That personnel group has changed, but the concept remains the same. So look, each leg of this I'm down with. It's the big scoreboard here. Kittle's got to be 1, and the others have to be top 5. That's massive. I just had Dallas Goddard for for 17 points, mate. I'm like, okay, well, you can get me 2 short yardage touchdowns. That'll be fine. I saw him do it last week on those little like bat forward passes, and they just had a real plan for how they were going to get that ball in last week. And I'd be fine with him just being a part of that again. Pretty much took touchdowns away from Saquon and from Hurts.
Yep. And they love taking touchdowns away from Saquon this year. He's just it's just been their favourite thing to do. So I'm just basically banking on that again.
Yeah, could be an Olympic sport. I'm going to do the wrap up. We've got between Poe and I, we've got Young versus Tampa Bay, 20 to 24 points. I went the underside of that, but Poe, he's got his chin out, 24 points. And then Tay did a double up. He wants Herbert at Dallas and Hurts versus Washington to be both top 6 quarterbacks on the week. Mate, I've got Chase Brown at Miami to be a 20-point scorer. We've got Woody Marks for Poe versus Las Vegas to get you 15 points. Oh, there's going to be a touchdown in that as well. Tay wants a chain at versus Cincinnati and Bijan Robinson at Arizona to be the top 2 running backs on the week. Shazam! Any order you want. But if you want to talk about points, let's say they've probably got to get 28 each, and that's probably 2 touchdowns each. I just can't wait to play the air horn in there. Mate, for wide receivers, Poe has done the unthinkable. He's called Justin Jefferson. I love it, though, because he's against New York Giants. He's been getting the targets. He had a very unfortunate week gone by where if things just break a little differently, he has a big week. Let's keep that rolling. 18 points at the New York Giants. I had Mike Evans, my boyfriend, husband, life partner, and love of my life at Carolina, 20-plus points. But Tay, you had DK Metcalf at Detroit, Ladd McConkey at Dallas, both to be top 10 wide receivers because those defenses are arse. Our tight ends, we had Waller versus Cincinnati for a touchdown and 15 points. We had Goddard for 17 points at Washington. But we also had Tay with both of them and George Kittle in a D-fest over there. Dallas got it. Darren Waddle, Kittle. Kittle's got to finish top 1. The others have to finish top 5. So breakouts for week 16. We only get to do this segment one more time, Tay. And
I know.
I enjoy the hell out of that.
It's just a bit of fun. It's like I said, even when the guests come on, they're always like, "Oh, can we pick the same stuff?" It's just like, yeah, it's just a bit of fun. And like, because you and I, we do a lot of segments, and like we have in the past, and then even obviously it starts in the week and stuff. We talk about lowly owned guys and trying to help people out that are looking at decisions on guys that they're getting off waivers or whatever. I also kind of like to just have a chat about guys that people are starting and people know about, and you just like to lean into their matchups and stuff like that. So that's why it's a good segment like that, just to have a look around and actually talk about some guys people know and trust, but then kind of put a line on them to why the matchups are great this week.
It's great for Supercoach as well.
Exactly.
Like, checking your captains. I mean, you're talking Bijan, you're talking Kid Doll.
Yeah, one of the big Ds.
So that just rolled off the tongue.
Ds in the league. It really did.
Just rolled off the tongue.
You've inspired me. I would like to say though, I might have misread the segment a little bit. I had a flex as well, and my flex was Ladd McConkey. So,
nice. We're on the same page.
Rain, let it pour. But that's the beauty of the segment is now we're throwing endorsements on guys who some of them have had bad weeks, some of them we're seeking repeats of good weeks. We've got our reasons why. Mate, if you want to check that tape, it's all there. And I love that we do that each week. And it sets the platform nicely to go into a segment where you guys can't prepare for it, but it is a segment that anyone can play at home as well. We do this every week, and we've done it for 15 weeks already. The scoreboard is super tight on it, and it's just as fun now as it was back in week 1. It's time to play the tipping point. Tay, let me tell you about this tipping point because a few weeks back you were trailing this segment like 8-5, 8-4 maybe even. It was a disaster.
It was at least that. I came back with a vengeance, Matty C. I'm on fire.
It wasn't 8-0, but I mean it wasn't looking good. let's go with that.
It felt
you
like
had
it
a
after
4-3 lead.
Kev ruined. Felt like it after Kev ruined my season, but anyway.
Yeah, no, he hit you with a blowtorch right on the ass. Mate, last week, you did a terrific job of getting out, straight out of the gate, you had on the Thursday night game, the Irving versus Atlanta, you did a great job. You started with a 17.7 line for Bucky Irving, and it bit you in the arsehole. But what you did then, straight after that, is you had Purdy throw up a nice bunch of points against Tennessee, gave you 26 when you only needed 18.5. And then the other one, you kind of just swooped in on Ladd having a bad day versus Kansas City.
Yep.
The world needed 10.8. He gave him 4. So, like, all of a sudden, you've turned that around. Problem is that Dalton Kincaid also had a bit of a scorcher against New England, where even though they threw up 35 points in a huge come-from-behind win, Dalton Kincaid only scored just 6.4, and it's not like you had a high line. You only needed 8. He was agonizingly close. That's 2-all. We're going into the Indianapolis and the Seattle game, hoping for Ken Walker, who had a line of 10.5, a very gettable line and a very missable line. It was the most compelling segment, I think, of all of the 17 we've run this season so far, 15 we've run this season so far. It was the most compelling because here we are with a guy who could have done anything. He goes and throws up 2.9, mate. You must have been ecstatic.
It was so fitting because, like, it was so cool having the world, like, have two people playing that game together because some people worked well together, whereas Rogan and Connor last week were just bickering the whole time, and they didn't
like a married couple.
Like Connor hated Ken Walker, Rogan liked him, but technically it was Rogan making the decisions, and they clearly Connor wanted to be unders, and then all of a sudden when it got to sort of that mid-10, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take under just purely so Connor hates it. And it was just so fitting that it came down to him because I was just giving him so much shit the entire game, like about the fact that he needs some good game out of Ken Walker, even though he hates him so much. So it was fun. Even like the whole weekend, like there hasn't been one week where really we've talked about tipping point. I always bring this up, Matty. See, I have tipping point amnesia every fucking week. Like, unless I'm literally listening to the episode as the games are happening on the Monday, I just completely forget every fucking line and the player that's on. And for whatever reason, like, Rogan started talking shit, like, because Bucky Irving played on the Friday and missed, and all of a sudden there was a midweek shit talk from the world, and I was like, oh, this is different. At least that actually got me going, and it made me actually think of who the players were, because normally we almost just like let the segment be and then check the scoreboard at the end, but it's getting to the end of the season, mate. It's getting spicy.
It's getting very spicy, and what I like about this is that all of a sudden from that, like, you led 4-3 maybe, and then after a couple of weeks of having Kev fill in for you and just a bit of bad rub of the green when you first got back, all of a sudden you're in this like 8-4 hole, and you've built it all the way back to 8-7. For the last 4 weeks, you could have had your season ended at any point, and here you are at 8-7. It's still the case. If Poe kicks you in the teeth this week, you lose the segment for the whole season because he'll have got to 9. You can't get to 9 if he beats you there. But mate, that the season is alive, and Poe, you got all to do, mate. You got to be real careful this week, mate.
How would it feel being Poe just getting rinsed in the Gold League and then also just getting done on this? It'd be like Illawarra against Queen Vienne all over again.
No comment.
He pleads the fifth.
Pleading something. Well, I like the segment here, Poe, because you can't know what's coming. Taylor also can't know what's coming. The idea is that I'm going to give you a player at each of the positions we just went through in breakouts: a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end. I'm also going to bring up a fifth guy who's going to be like a mystery mate. He's could be at any of those positions. And each of them, I'll give you a little background on how the player's performing, their matchup, and then, bang, we're going to just start a bidding process on. I'll start with the year or Taylor first, and just kind of lob out how many points you think they might score this week, and start low, let the other person bid a bit higher, then you bid a bit higher, and you just keep on going until someone goes, too rich for my blood. Can start as low as you like, can escalate as fast or slow as you like. Every position can be escalated by as many as points as you like, but can also be escalated by tenths of points. Quarterback can even be escalated by 0.04 of points, because that's how they score. 1 week, Kev set a line of 19.36 for Caleb Williams. It can be done. So, all of that said, who's feeling cute? Who wants to know the first player? We ready for this?
Absolutely.
Let's fucking go.
Playing at home, the first player is quarterback 12 on the season. He is on the road, and this is this whole segment this week, I've kind of picked guys who are in the wild card mix, whether they are currently in a wild card position, playing a team in a wild card position, or if by the end of results this week they might find themselves hanging on by grim death to a wild card position. This guy is averaging 16.95 points per week as a quarterback, so not amazing in quarterback 12, but it is Jordan Love at the Chicago Bears, and Jordan Love has been playing far better in fantasy of late. He had some absolute corkers earlier in the year where he'd throw up a 4 or a 6. All of a sudden, the last couple of weeks, he has had about 16 last week, 20 the week before, 25 back in week 13 against the very generous Detroit Lions. Poe, I'm going to throw to you first. Where do you want to start a bidding on Jordan Love at Chicago, quarterback 12 on the season, averaging 16.95 points per game?
Let's go to 15.
15.5.
16.1. It's very sensual.
It is. And I'm going to go to the extremely central. Ignore the 1, but 16.9.
Ooh. 17.2.
Here we go. That's a small raise.
They just lost Micah Parsons. 18.
Ooh. 18.3.
19.6.
Ooh, that's a decent lift.
That's a jump.
I might take under on that.
Just lost Micah Parsons, just lost Christian Watson as well, which is not terrific. But 19.6 is currently projected by Sleeper to score 18.18. So once we got to 18.3, I was like, ooh, interesting. And then Boats comes out of the top from the fucking top rope and lays in the people's elbow. 19.6, taste the tape.
I will say, like, I do like him this week. I do think he's set up for success. It's just, I've talked to you 100 times about this. Like, when it gets around that 20, because it's the standard scoring with the 4-point passing touchdown, like, it's weird. Like, it's funny how, like, much it actually takes to score 20 in a 4-point passing touchdown league. I'm not saying you can't do it. It's just, I get a bit iffy where it's, like, not a complete slam dunk quarterback around that 20 range. So, yeah, I just thought 19.6. I'll take the shot that maybe it's Josh Jacobs again getting the touchdowns.
He needs to get that 2 touchdowns, at least 3. If he gets 3 touchdowns, he's in. It's a shoe-in. But
yeah, 100%.
2 touchdowns.
It's like the 2.5 line.
A little bit of running. It's divisional rivalry. Like, they need to win this.
And he smashed through that in their last matchup, I'm pretty sure. He had a massive game against them 2 weeks ago.
20.2.
Yeah, he had 20.
Was it really?
Prior to that, he had 25.
Wasn't that big?
Detroit. So, smashed through. His projection that week was 18.5. So, his projection's been pretty stable. And he has been scoring a little bit better than that generally in the last month. So, let's give Poe the tick for that one. 19.6, mates. Good luck, because... mate, that is divisional games. You just never know. Those teams know each other so well. You just don't know whether one team's going to really blow the curtains off or if it's going to be super tight, super cagey. I'm going to go to our next guy on the list, and I would usually go to running back next, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to a wide receiver next. I really like this guy. He's come on strong lately too. He's on a team which likes to throw the ball around, and he is currently scoring 13.5 fantasy points per week. But lately, he has not been scoring 13.5 fantasy points per week. He's been scoring 26.9, 17.3. Last week, lobbed up just a casual 26 points against the LA Rams. It's Jameson Williams, who is currently wide receiver 12 on the season. Wide receiver 12 on the season. 13.49 points against, this week, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to throw a Tay on this one first. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with James Pittsburgh?
it was one of those preseason takes that I kind of almost took the L on halfway through the year, but somehow, like, if you look at it over a full season, it's actually turned out right. It was like I loved him at that, like, sort of wide receiver 20-ish that he was going in drafts, but I thought he'd be more consistent than this year. I thought he would just take that step up. His target rate was massive at the end of last year, so I kind of almost feel like he hasn't done it consistently enough for me to feel like it was even a winning pick, even though over a full season it says he's wide receiver 12. So this is actually what makes it super hard to set a line, because he's so hit and miss that it's like we can set a line like in the middle of what he's probably going to do. He could probably have 0 or he could have fucking 28. Like, it's such a funny one. But I'll start it at 10.
Okay, 12.
Let's go 12.7.
13.2.
13.5.
I'll go under on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't going to go much higher.
Feast or famine, right, Po?
Yeah, sure is.
I don't love it. They just shut down Waddle, and Waddle's not a bad receiver.
He also doesn't have Amon Ra on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think it's Gibbs' game.
Yeah.
Well, because Gibbs goes back and forth, right? Well, every second game's a Gibbs game.
Right.
He goes back and forth like a yo-yo.
Mate, 13.5 when his average for the season is 13.49. I love that. And his projection this week by sleeper against Cleveland, in Cleveland, is 13.65. So we're all in that, that mush of, is he going to get me 4? Is he going to get me 21? Like, we don't know. And I think, whoever landed the line in that region is going to feel just as weird about it as the guy who didn't take the line, right? Like, Poe, you can't tell me you feel good about it.
Because if Poe had done anything over what I said, I probably would have said under. It was like, that was like the exact range I had. And then you're even telling me that's exactly what he's averaging. And then I even said he's going to score 0 or 27, which works out to be 13.5. So it's like, it's such a weird, funny number.
He's one of those Deshaun Jackson kind of players where he'll have a string of games where he'll hit those 80-yard touchdowns and you go, absolutely, yes, but he'll get you the 3, 4, 2-point games.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a disaster. He's a great best fantasy disaster, because if you see your opponent with him, you go, well, he could score 4. But then you also, as the game starts, you go, he could score 27. He's a terrifying person to be playing against, and he's a terrifying person to own.
He's a great best ball player.
My main dynasty playoff. I'm very scared because I lost to him last year in the league. I should have won him.
Wow, I see. That'll do it. That'll do it. All right, so I'm going to lock that one in. I've got Jameson Williams. Tay is bidding the over on 13.5, and he doesn't feel good about it, and Poe doesn't feel good about not having the over. So it's a disaster. Again, this is like, so the Lions are outside the wild card, and Philadelphia are going to have to keep winning if they want to even hang on to a wild card. The next guy I'm going to bring up is the running back, and I'm bringing this guy up because he just kind of had a bumper week, and he's running back 6 on the year anyway and averaging 19 points per game. So he's no chump, but he now goes up against Cleveland in Cleveland, and we've seen those games can be either Prince of Plenty, where Cleveland just forget to show up, or they can be not a whole lot at all, like they were against when, we saw Green Bay go in there in about week 3 or 4 and just struggle to move the ball at all. James Cook at Cleveland, running back 6 on the year, averaging 19 points per game, Poe. Where do you want to set your first bid? Send it in.
I'm torn between like 15 and 8. Let's go 13.
There you go. I'll go 14.
Under.
Oh, okay.
Under on 14.0. Woo! Okay, can you give me why you're skittish?
The Cleveland defense is scary. I know that, the God Pollard tore them apart, but they'll focus on who's good on that team, and Josh Allen's just going to wheel and deal to whoever he can find. He's going to run out of the pocket as much as he can. I just don't see, it's still a good game. You get that many points, you're not upset. But I just don't see him popping off those massive runs like he would against some of the lower competition.
I mean, Tay, your average is 19. I don't necessarily need to guess why you're happy with the line of 14, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a matchup I'm super excited about. It's just there's been pretty sustained success for James Cook the last couple of years, and I just think he's always a very good chance at a touchdown. And if you're getting 6 points for a touchdown straight away, you don't have to do much else to get the extra 8 points to your 14. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have gone super high on him, but, yeah, I probably was willing to go a little bit higher than 14.
Tricky. All right, so the line locked in is Taylor with the 14.0 and over. He's currently projected for 17.1, and he is averaging 19, but up against Cleveland in Cleveland. We're going to go to our fourth player. This is the tight end, and this is a team who are, actually playing well above, I think, expectations, considering all we know about the things that have happened to this team to destabilize them over the year. But they face a matchup that is just a pit of rainbows and smiles and cuddles and leprechauns. It is Orendae Gadsden versus Detroit. He's tight end 19 on the year. He's not always been their top tight end, but for a large part of the year he has been. And he is, in games he's played, averaging 9.4 points a game. So tight end 19, but in the last 8 weeks has been far more impressive than the first 8 weeks of the year. Dallas. How tasty's Dallas? Tay, where do you want to start this line?
It's always interesting with tight ends because you're like, I've heard lines of like 4 get taken under. So you don't want to really just launch in. I'll start at 4.5.
5.5.
6.5.
6.75.
Okay,
Goal.
Let's roll.
I'll even it to 7.
All right, I'll go under 7.
All right.
7.0. Wow, Tay, you are the optimist today with 3 out of 4 overs. What's the matter with you?
Which doesn't normally bode well. I got away with it last week, but most of the weeks I've won, I've been the pessimist.
Yeah. Well, might you be at 9.43 is because he's been quite up and down. He's projected for 11.25 because Dallas, they are just the Jelly of the Month club. It's a gift that keeps giving all year long. But at a bet of 7.0, I also understand with Gadsden's recent form of being so, he's got a personality disorder when it comes to fantasy scoring, that I can understand why 7 still doesn't feel like a sure thing. Poe, do you feel like you ducked a bullet there?
Yeah. I don't love his Gadsden's snap percentage over the last few weeks. It's trending down the last 4 weeks. It's gone 88, 70, 62, 52. I don't like that trend. I think they're going to try to get... I mean, they might try to get it out quickly. I'm not sure if Quinnen Williams is back, so they might have a little bit more time. So, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Ooh. All right, say 7. You'd be happy at 7, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, I probably wasn't going super high. Once you get into double figures and stuff for tight ends, it's a bit iffy. So yeah, I was happy enough of 7 because just need one big player, I guess.
Yeah. I probably say that, but I watched a guy go and put 22 as a line on Trey McBride a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah,
tight ends. He ended up scoring like 8, but
yeah, that was the one. I got the 1 week where McBride went shit. It felt good.
Thank God. Thank God. Mate, the final player. Poe, I call this player the mystery meat because you can't possibly know what I'm about to say. Not that you could have really known who I was going to say for the other ones, but at least you had a range. This one, you can't even have a range. It could be any of those positions, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the first bid on them. They are playing a horrendous defense that is just bad against every single position, bottom 10 against everyone, but probably even worse than that, really. And they're playing against a team who are somewhat hot, who are in possession of a wild card spot now, but do still have some ambition to try and finish top of their division. owned by 42% of teams and started in only 18% of leagues, averaging 15.64 points a week, but coming off a blistering 23 is our quarterback CJ Stroud against the Las Vegas Raiders. Sky, currently quarterback 21 on the year, 15.64 points per game against Las Vegas. What do you want to do?
Oh man, I'm playing him against Tay, so this is delightful. I'll start it at 17.
Going hard.
I know that
17
point very uncomfortable.
17.5.
Oh,
17.75.
I love it. 18.15.
18.5.
Yeah, I want to go under.
Knew it.
Whoa. But do you feel good, Poe?
Yeah, I wanted to straight up the 20. I really feel he's coming out hot in this one, but I figured the slow pull up might go wonders.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got Marks as your breakout, but there's nothing saying that touchdown for Marks doesn't come from the hand. Stroud, and you stack that bitch up, mate. Well, it's 18.5. He is currently projected for 15.7 and has a season average of 15.64. So those two are quite aligned. Okay. But Vegas, baby, Vegas, and they are at home versus Vegas. So I can see why you'd be pretty happy to take a considerably higher line. And given he's just come off a 23, he's kind of got some recent form. Mate, 18.5 gives you a second over. That is to pair with your other quarterback, Jordan Love.
Yeah,
Chicago.
So I'm under on both quarterbacks, but over on everything else.
It's a weird dichotomy. You just got a bit more faith in quarterbacks' ability to rack up points there, Poe?
I just think the matchups, really. I've come off a week where I've picked Mariota over Trevor Lawrence, so maybe it's not the best decisions by me, but
mate, cracker. In fact, that's a nail it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's the funny thing when you pick a quarterback, you go, are they playing against a terrible defense? Yes. Will they just run against that defense? And that was my thought against Jets, and it just turned into Etienne catching 3 touchdowns on 4 catches.
Yeah,
but I think that might be a little bit more of the same. Marks isn't your traditional between the tackles runner. I think he's going to pop a few out there.
Yeah, they've got linebackers who like to, a bit like the Jets, kind of run downhill and leave a lot of space in behind them. And we've talked about this to the cows come home that for about 40 straight seasons now, the Raiders really shit against tight ends. So that ball's coming from a quarterback's hand, and it's all helpful. So Stroud and Love are where Poe is resting his hat. He's got overs on both of them. Jordan Love for 19.6 points or more at Chicago, and then CJ Stroud, home to Las Vegas, 18.5 points or more. Neither are exorbitant, so you may well have Lady Luck come your way. Tay, on the other hand, took overs on James Cook at Cleveland with an average of 19 points on the year. He managed to get James Cook at 14 points, so he'd be feeling pretty good. Jameson Williams versus Pittsburgh, wide receiver 12 on the year, averaging 13.5 points a game. Taylor got him at 13.5 or more. Nice one there. And then Orlando Gadsden versus Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, averaging about 9 points a week. Tay got him for 7 points, but he's tied in 19, so he's not doing it because he's super consistent. This line could be anywhere. And these are all fellas who are pretty well in wildcard positions, chasing wildcard spots, or playing teams in wildcard spots. So it is just everything to play for in all these matchups. They are our tipping point for this week. Hey, Poe, did you survive the week? You've managed to sail about 90 minutes of us mainly talking garbage and then a little bit of analysis at the end there.
I'm awake. It's well past my bedtime, but I'm enjoying this. This is nice.
It's about to get worse.
Hey, you've been talking all year about how you reckon Poe was going to be suited to this. Do you reckon you found a winner?
Yeah, it's funny that him and Joycey are such good mates because they kind of similar the way their demeanor on the podcast. They kind of almost like own it and feel like they've been here before. I actually think they both come off as probably way more knowledgeable and better at this than we are. So we might need to invite neither of them back ever again because they're making us look bad.
No contest. I reckon Poe could host this. No worries.
Yeah, I think you and I retire and we just let him and Joycey just run the pod.
I'd listen to the shit out of that. I would love that.
Yeah. I'll come on and do more great, Kittle stuff. That could be my segment.
Mate, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be slicing that out and sending it off to the Webby Awards because, mate, that is a great moment in Australian podcasting right there for independent podcasting. The Webby Awards. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out. We will be submitting. Poe, look, we're going to do this all again for the Sunday show. We've got Friday games where we've got the Rams and Seahawks. So, big day for your Rams. Mate, that is midday on the Friday. And then, mate, we've actually got Sunday games Australian time. And I love this time of year for this reason. And we actually get games that happen on our weekend. And they are all NFC, all rivalry, all day before we hit the Monday slate of games. Can we hope for your company back for our Sunday show, mate, so we can go through a little bit of mailbag and get into the starts of the week?
Yes, indeed. Can't wait.
Oh, can't wait. Tay, you're looking forward to just giving us all the dust up for starts of the week and getting ready to take this old lady home?
Yes, it's going to be super easy, mate. Now that I can sniff the title, this is just going to be an absolute clean-up job. So let's fucking get to Sunday, mate. Cannot wait.
Let's get to Sunday. Tay, I don't want to go home with you. No, I really like staying at Matty's house. That's how I imagine the voice of the Starts of the Week trophy would sound. Do you reckon that's somewhat accurate?
That sounded like that weird fork thing in Toy Story 4. I don't know why. That just gave me that vibe.
Didn't even know there was a fourth Toy Story, so that's how old I am. But on that note, we're going to get out of here. Good luck, everybody, with your Friday games and getting set for your semi-finals. They are a big week here in Fantasy Land. We will be back on Sunday. We'll do the mailbag. We'll do the starts of the week. We're bringing Poe back. We're bringing Taylor back. Sadly, you're going to have me back. We'll catch you all then. Don't forget to catch out mates at G'day Gridiron tomorrow as they go through the reactions from the Thursday night game and start to lay the table for the Sunday slate and other big games on the weekend. We'll catch you all on Sunday. Hooroo!
Hooroo, thank you!
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including G'day Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo!